so many people scoring every game in double figures. Has that been a point of emphasis, or is that just something that has happened because of the team you have?
Well, you see me smiling because it definitely is. It's a nice luxury to have as a coach. I will tell you that we spend a little bit of time talking about it, but not a ton. It really is truly the nature of the student athletes that we have. They're very unselfish, almost to a fault sometimes. So we almost have the reverse problem sometimes, where we want them to keep the ball or shoot the ball and things like that versus sharing it. But it's a nice luxury to have.
They were also talking about the speed they're playing with, and that they've maybe noticed some opponents, you get into the fourth quarter and they're kind of like hands on the knees, and your team is still like, all right, let's go, let's keep pushing it. That's got to be something as a coach that you probably observe and are quite happy with as well.
Well, it is. We take great pride in how we finish games and being the team that is superior in terms of our strength and conditioning in latter parts of the games. And since we moved to the quarter system last year, this year we decided to put all fours up. So starting the fourth quarter, it's a point of emphasis for us to really attack that quarter, to finish that quarter strong. And because the duration of the game has been so fast-paced, it really affords us an opportunity to really put on display our strength and conditioning in that fourth quarter, in the last 5 minutes of the game in particular, and when a lot of other teams start fading that maybe don't have as much depth as us or may not be as well conditioned as us. So it really definitely benefits us staying true to that pace throughout the duration of games.
Is this the style of game that you'd like to play, but you wanted to have, I'll say, the personnel in place in order to do it?
Absolutely, great question, and we're kind of to that point where we're able to play the way we want to play. It truly is pretty much our team for the first time. You know, this is our fourth year, and we've put the pieces together. We have more depth at each position than we've had since being here. We've had really good individual players, but we haven't had enough depth in certain positions, and we kind of collectively have that. We can go two deep at almost any position. Some positions we can go 3 deep, and that's really nice for us to have. And then on any given night, as you pointed out, any particular number of players could step up and be in double digits for us, and we're averaging about 4 players in double digits consistently.
Have you found the players, I'll say, enjoying this kind of game, is where most players want to play up-tempo and move the ball quite a bit? Are you seeing that?
Oh, I think so. I think it's fun to watch as a fan. It's fun to play in that type of a system. I don't think we too much hear people say, oh, I want to come watch a 40-point game or a 50-point game. If they're being truthful, I think that most people wouldn't say that. So, you know, and defensively, you know, our team is really coming along in that realm as well. We've had a few quarters here where we've held teams below 10 points in a quarter in recent games, and we had a really tough stretch of games with limited prep. When we went from Xavier to the Vegas tournament to North Carolina, very limited prep time for those games, and really proud of how they responded and competed during that time frame.
Talking about the low-scoring quarters, it's really tough to do, especially when you're getting up and down. So how have you been able to get your players to go up and down, but not fall into the trap of, well, we're getting buckets quickly over here, and kind of giving up easy buckets over there? Like, what's kind of been the key to getting them to, get up and down, try to score, and play so well too on the other end?
Well, it's toughness. It really is. There's not a magical formula for that. It's a toughness piece, and that's where you really rely on your strength and conditioning and a prep that we do in practice. A lot of everything we do in practice is full court, getting them ready for that type of environment. And it's just it's toughness and want to in the moment of the game, and knowing that we have to play both ends. And they're in a good place right now. You know, they're winning a lot of games. We got votes in the AP Top 25 a week ago, so we're starting to be talked about a little bit in that arena as well. So it's exciting for them. I think especially for our returners who had a really hard schedule last year. I think that they're taking those experiences and putting them into action, and they're enjoying the results right now.
Keys, maybe to your success. How does that work with everybody? I mean, there's not a go-to person per se, but how have you been able to spread the ball around and be able to be successful that way?
I think that we got a lot of experience on the team, and then we got people who came back, and we all grew a bond off the court and on the court. And since we can depend on everybody, and if one person off, it allows the next person to step up and contribute to the team.
Yeah. Well, adding to that, I think we're just a very unselfish team this year. I don't think we're expecting anybody to go out and score 30 points a night. We have multiple scorers on the floor, and I think we share the ball well, and we find each other well on the floor, and it's really balancing us out this year, and it's working well for us.
I agree with Wags. I just think we're really unselfish this year. I know a lot of us don't care if we don't have our points that night because, you know, Carlie's going to pick me up or Key's going to pick me up that night. We don't care where the points come from as long as we get the W.
It hasn't necessarily been that way in other years. Do you feel less of a burden, I guess, maybe going out there then, knowing that you don't have to score 20, 25 points for this team to have a chance to win?
I mean, yeah, it's super amazing to have a team like that where you can go out every night and you know if, like Bree said, if somebody's not going to have a great night, that it's not going to affect if you win or lose because there's multiple people on the floor that can score and we all trust each other to be able to score. Everybody has the green light, so I mean, if somebody's hot, we're going to keep feeding them the ball that night. So.
And then it also make it harder for other teams. So defensively, they have to watch each person on the court and not just one person. So I think that since we got a lot of people that can contribute to the team, it allows us to put more more plays in offensively, and it'll basically have the defensive people step up, and they don't know who's gonna have that on night that night.
What I guess, like in the non-conference, what do you like about going on the road and playing in some other gyms and then kind of acclimating yourself, I guess, to some of those road venues where obviously games are a little bit harder to win?
I think road games are just super fun. It's fun to travel with your teammates. You make some good memories on the road, that's for sure, between the plane rides and the long bus rides. But it's just fun to go to different places, see different stadiums and arenas and facilities and stuff like that. But it's also really fun to go on the road and get a win because road wins are hard and all you have is yourself and your teammates and your coaches and that's all you got. So it's really rewarding to get a road win because it's tough.
I agree with Wags. We're actually traveling well this year with like fan bases and stuff, which has been really fun. We got a group of I think it was 60 or something to Las Vegas. So it's almost like we were the home team. And traveling this week, we go to San Diego, which will be a lot of fun, especially because of the snowstorm here. It's going to be nice weather there, but I think it's just really fun to see different parts of the country that we don't typically see during conference play.
And then it's also fun playing against teams who has really large crowds, and the crowds is kind of getting after you at every shot, every free throw. You know, they starting coming at you personally, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know they knew this about me. So I think that's more fun because it puts so much pressure on you, and to win in gyms like that, it makes you feel really good.
Is this the style of play that you all kind of enjoy based on just kind of opening up the playbook and running the way you're capable of running, scoring as many points that you're able to score?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the players on the roster love a fast-paced, up-tempo game, and that's what we've been doing this year. We've been really pushing it this year, especially in transition, and upping our defensive intensity and just being more all over the place and up in your face. So it's definitely the style that worked comfortable with playing. If people don't like it that we play that way because it's hard to keep up, but we've grown so accustomed to the pace and worked so hard to play at this pace that we just love it. It's all the hard work put into play like that.
She couldn't have said it well.
Do you hear that from teams you're playing where they're complaining about all the running that
Yeah.
causing you to hear from the
Not necessarily all the running, but you can tell they're just kind of gassed out.
Yeah.
By the fourth quarter, they're like hands on the knees, and we're like, okay, we're ready to go. Like, let's go. And they're like, can't even run anymore.
Yeah. Some people like, you got her, and they be right there. So sometimes some teams don't even want to pick up the person with the ball because they trying to get a breather, but we just keep going at them every time.
So when I'll say coach or you guys would, I'll say we want to play our game. Is that basically forcing their hand to say, hey, listen, you've got no choice. If you don't want to guard us, you're going to pay the price by open layup.
Oh, yeah, a lot of teams play a little slower than us. They run through plays and run through sets meanwhile we trying to push the ball. So anytime a team try to come in thinking we're going to scoop down to the slower pace, we kind of try to speed it up by maybe doing a zone or a 2-2-1 kind of press.
Like a full court press, yeah, speed them up a little bit.
Pretty much if they're not playing the pace we want, we're going to make them.
Yeah.